Could a single Champions League debut unravel an entire season's ambition? For Tottenham Hotspur, against the formidable Atlético Madrid, the answer arrived with brutal, unforgiving speed. In a decision that sent shockwaves through European football, interim manager Igor Tudor handed young Antonín Kinský his Champions League debut in the high-pressure cauldron of the Metropolitano stadium. The stakes were monumental. A round of 16 first leg, a chance to establish a foothold in Europe's elite competition. But what unfolded in the opening quarter hour was nothing short of a catastrophe, a rapid-fire collapse that saw Kinský substituted after just 15 minutes, his dream debut morphing into a nightmare. This wasn't merely a bad start, it was a complete unraveling, a defensive capitulation that left Tottenham's Champions League hopes hanging by a thread before many fans had even settled into their seats. The question now isn't just about the result, but the profound psychological and strategic damage inflicted on a team already grappling with inconsistent domestic form. How could a decision of such magnitude go so spectacularly wrong, and what does this mean for a club desperate to prove its mettle on the grandest stage? The answers lie in a confluence of factors, from individual errors to collective defensive frailties, all exposed under the harsh glare of Champions League football. This match will be remembered not for a heroic stand, but for a swift, devastating fall. The decision to bench Guglielmo Vicario, Tottenham's established number one, in favor of Kinský was a gamble of epic proportions, one that Tudor defended as being best for the team in this moment. Vicario, despite winning the Goalkeeper of the Year award at the London Football Awards in February 2024, had endured a challenging run of form, conceding 9 goals in 3 previous matches under Tudor. This dip in performance, coupled with Tottenham's winless streak in the Premier League since December, created an environment ripe for change, but few anticipated such a drastic move in a Champions League knockout tie. Kinský, a Czech professional footballer born in 2003, had joined Tottenham in January 2025 and had only made 2 prior appearances, both in the Carabao Cup. His lack of top-level experience made him an immediate focal point of pre-match discussion, a raw talent thrust into the unforgiving spotlight of European football against a side renowned for its clinical efficiency. The tension was palpable even before kickoff. The Metropolitano, a fortress for Atlético, was buzzing with anticipation. Tottenham, seeking a distraction from their domestic woes, desperately needed a solid performance. Instead, they got a stark reminder of the fine margins at this level, and the immense pressure placed on every player, especially those making their bow in such a critical fixture. The stage was set for a hero or a cautionary tale. The match began, and within minutes, the gamble spectacularly backfired. Atlético Madrid, under Diego Simeone, are masters of exploiting weakness, and they wasted no time in dismantling Tottenham's fragile confidence. The first goal arrived swiftly, followed by a second from Antoine Griezmann in the 14th minute, and then a third, all within a devastatingly short span. Kinský, visibly struggling, made a crucial error, scuffing a kick straight to an Atlético player, leading directly to one of the early goals. The young goalkeeper looked overwhelmed, unable to cope with the relentless pressure and the sheer speed of Atlético's attacking transitions. The 3 rapid goals conceded in just under 15 minutes set an unwanted Champions League record for Tottenham, marking the earliest a team has ever gone 3 goals ahead in a knockout stage match. The stadium erupted, a cacophony of cheers for the home side and groans of disbelief from the traveling Spurs faithful. Tudor, witnessing the unfolding disaster, made the agonizing decision to hook Kinský after just 16 minutes, replacing him with the benched Vicario. It was a brutal, public end to a debut that will haunt the young Czech for a long time, a stark illustration of how quickly dreams can turn to dust in the unforgiving arena of elite football. The tactical battle was lost, the psychological blow delivered, and Tottenham found themselves in an almost insurmountable hole. The substitution of Kinský after a mere 16 minutes was a desperate attempt to stem the bleeding, but the damage was already done. Vicario entered the fray, but the momentum was firmly with Atlético. Robin Lenormand compounded Tottenham's misery, heading in a 4th goal after just 22 minutes, further cementing the Spanish giants' dominance. While Pedro Porro managed to pull one back for Spurs in the 26th minute, offering a fleeting moment of respite, the first half ended with Atlético leading 4-1, and at one point, the score reached 5-1. The defensive collapse was comprehensive, highlighting not just Kinský's inexperience but also a collective vulnerability within the Tottenham squad. The team looked disoriented, unable to cope with Atletico's high press and clinical finishing. This performance starkly contrasted with Tottenham's earlier Champions League form, where they had progressed automatically into the last 16 with victories against Bundesliga sides. The domestic struggles, including a winless run in the Premier League since December, appeared to have bled onto the European stage, exposing deeper issues within the team's structure and confidence. The decision to drop Vicario, a senior player and a key figure in the dressing room, now seemed even more questionable in hindsight, given the catastrophic outcome. The final whistle confirmed a devastating defeat for Tottenham, leaving their Champions League aspirations severely dented. The implications of this result extend far beyond a single match. For Antonín Kinský, it was a baptism of fire, a harsh lesson in the unforgiving nature of top-tier football. His future at the club, and his confidence, will undoubtedly be under intense scrutiny. For Guglielmo Vicario, his return to the pitch, albeit under the most difficult circumstances, raises questions about his long-term position and the stability of Tottenham's goalkeeping situation. Interim manager Igor Tudor now faces immense pressure, his bold tactical gamble having backfired spectacularly. This defeat not only jeopardizes Tottenham's Champions League journey but also casts a long shadow over their entire season, exacerbating existing concerns about their consistency and resilience. The team must now regroup, analyze the catastrophic errors, and somehow find a way to overturn a significant deficit in the second leg. The road ahead is steep, demanding a monumental effort and a complete shift in mentality. What does this crushing defeat mean for Tottenham's identity, their strategic direction, and their ability to compete at the highest level? The answers will determine the trajectory of their season and the narrative surrounding a club perpetually seeking to break into Europe's elite. The challenge is immense, the stakes higher than ever.